Fundamentals and technique, they're going to work it very hard, but at the end of the day, it's all about them just realizing that they have to improve and where they want to take their game.
How pleased are you with the off-season training program? Looks like a lot of guys have put on some size.
Well, guys really have. You know, our strength coach, Coach Moore and Coach Roberts and his staff, they've done a great job where guys, you know, we put up big numbers, and now when you come out here, you want to make sure that those numbers, that they can just transfer it from the weight room to the field now. And it looked really good. And when you see guys that are, you know, the size, you look different at the offensive line, the quarterback with Blake putting on some weight, even with Wilcox, and even our defensive backs are kind of bulking up. But we needed to. You know, we run very big, so we got to increase our size and also our speed.
What about D-line and linebacker? Are you pleased with the physical progress there too?
Well, you always, when you look at the defensive front, it's almost like the offensive front. You want to make sure that that's where you got to win the game. So guys have got to get bigger and stronger. You look at Kegler and Pinckney, and then you got to add some numbers. And even though, you know, from the offensive side with Norma, with Atterbury, you know, all those guys got to add numbers, and then you want to get bigger and stronger.
Coach, what a difference a year makes for Blake Barnett. A whirlwind summer last year for him coming here, and after 1 year, I guess he's pretty comfortable in Tampa and at USF with his family now. If you could talk about that.
Well, we really didn't know what we had last year when Blake came in, and he came into the program, and he was just trying to feel himself, you know, just trying to fill out everything and just see where he actually fit. And then we go through, we had a chance to go through camp, and this time, a year ago, was the first time we really saw him. And then now we see him get into the games, and now he goes through spring practice, and now it's another camp for him. And just to see his leadership and how he is taking on the team and how he's looking to continue to build, and for himself, you know, how he's gotten bigger and stronger and where he is developing into the team leader. And I always tell him the quarterback is a position where the ball is always in your hands, and you're going to make a lot of decisions. Just make sure we make the right ones.
Can you discuss the depth behind him? Because you got some guys who have potential but haven't played.
Well, you really hasn't, because you go Blake and then you go Jordan, and so, you know, those two right now are the two that are getting a lot of reps. You know, we signed a quarterback, then we got a lot of quarterbacks that we have, but then, you know, the key thing is we got to keep Blake, you know, hoping he stay healthy. But even, you know, the Jordan, he's got a lot of reps. He's got him in the spring, and now the transfer from the spring to the camp, you know, he just continues to get better, and you want to see that from him.
Overall, how has the offense been responding to Kerwin?
Well, you know, today was our first day out here, but, you know, with him installing his offense in the spring, and now they're coming out here for the first day, you know, we didn't get a lot. We couldn't do a lot because we just didn't have the numbers, because, you know, you had the guys that were here with the vets, and then some of those freshmen. So you kind of, you know, at the beginning of practice, probably when we got to the middle of it, you saw guys where they was wearing down, because we just didn't have the depth out here, because, you know, we're trying to split the two groups up.
How important is it to have a guy like Nico Sautel back? I mean, the defensive leader that you guys were without the majority of last season.
Well, you always, when you miss a player and he make a lot of plays for you, and then when you get him back, it's really exciting for himself and then for the whole defense. But, you know, you look at defensively, we have to get better from last year, and there's some guys that need to step up and guys that need to develop it and just make progress. And you begin to see that. You see that with Kurt, you see that with Reeves. You know, those guys are coming on. Greer at backer, you know, Boyles at backer. So we got to see improvement overall as a total group.
And the return game and on offense, you got Horn back. How big is that?
Well, with Horn, it's going to be each and every day. We got to get him back, and he's got to get back to 100%. He's really, 11 months out probably. So, you know, with him, with his injury, it's going to be, well, we're going to bring him along slowly to make sure that when we do get him, then he's going to be at 4%.
Coach, bringing in Ryan Thaxton after the purge of the roster in December, how intense was the vetting process on the surface of how he left Tennessee, and how comfortable do you feel bringing him into the program?
Well, with Thaxton, you know, you have to go through, you got to do your homework on any young man that you bring into your program, especially when you have dismissed guys out. And then with him, it was a process where he had a chance, you know, even with the university getting behind us, because you're always looking to give guys another chance. And with Thaxton coming in, you know, it was a lot of conversations, and it was one to sit down where, hey, you know, we got to make this decision. We got to make it as a staff. And so when a young man, you know, when you understand all the circumstance behind it, then you can understand why we made that decision.
Any update on Sales, whether he'll be able to play this year?
With Sales, well, we're still waiting, and he's out here practicing, so we will see, here in a few weeks where we're going to be with him.
Not to bring up a sore spot, but is a day like this a prime example of why you need that football center?
Well, it's just, it takes away from, it kind of disrupt the rhythm, because now you have to practice set. We had it set for 6 o'clock this evening because we got to, guys just finished classes, and so they have to, some are finished and some have exams today. So you're trying to work it around the class schedule and now the weather, and there's just so many conditions that you have to go through. So we saw, Ed said, hey, let's go out and just make sure we get something in. Because if we didn't bring these vets out right now, and then this evening it rained on us, and we didn't get no work, and then we'd be sitting around all day. The only thing we've been doing is meeting, but just to get the work in is really good.
Coach, how about just the leadership? Even with the transfers, I know that they don't have a lot of time in here, but have they been able to provide a nice kind of bump and maybe a different voice? I remember last August you looked at us and said, you don't have a voice, and it seems a little different right now.
Well, what you have is guys that really have been here now. They understand who we are. So you go with Mitch, who's done a really good job. You give Blake, who's done a good job. You look at what Reeves is doing. You look at what Livingstone is doing. You look at Norman. You look at Atterbury. But what is happening, those guys, because they've been here now, and they want to win. So anytime you want to win, you know that you have to change how we go about everything, and they're willing to say, hey, Coach, whatever we need to do, and whatever voice and whatever we have to do, we're going to do it. So with those guys all stepping in and providing that leadership, it's been very good, because not only, they don't really have to say a lot, because those guys really don't say a lot, but it's just how they work now, and guys see how hard they're working. I mean, you can come by here any day in the summer, this past month or so, you're going to see Reeves and Livingstone out here working, and then they start bringing other guys with them, and then other guys start coming. But that's what you want to see. Anytime you want to see a change in the team, it's got to begin with the players, and they have to start owning it.
All right. Thank you very much.